Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Yes, hello, welcome to the bonus content. It's Friday. That means we sit down and we go through your KOKO questions. Thank you so much for writing in. You've been sending them to our DMs. You've been emailing us. You've been commenting on our videos. And I've got, you wouldn't believe who's here with me for the bonus content today. It's Adam Ashley Cooper. Hold the applause. Welcome.
Hold it.
Hey, how are you, Swoop?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for sticking around.
How good are Fridays?
Fridays are great. This will be pretty punchy. There have been a few questions come in, one or two for you, some for the whole group, but it's just you here.
Right, okay. Let's see if I can handle it.
Okay, let's start with first question was, who was your junior coach and what sort of influence did he have on you?
Junior coach. How far are we going back?
Maybe the most influential one. Was there one?
Well,
that
my old
stands
man
out?
was my coach for quite a few years. I guess your old man's quite influential. I do remember, I guess he was good in a way where how he approached it, you kind of gave me a lot of early communication around before the season started that he was going to be quite tough on me because obviously he couldn't show any favouritism. So that was the fact that I got that early and the fact that he was tough in general. But, showing that in front of the other group, I thought that was, one, the right approach, but two, quite clever in a way where there was no favouritism.
Was there ever moments in the car ride home where he'd say to you, Swoop, what were you thinking? Why did you do that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I guess he was quite honest. It's tough. He played football back in his day, and he'd always remind me how well he went. But I think he was the one to always drive attitude. I think he did believe that I had talent, but he never really touched on the talent aspect. It was all about having the hunger and the desire. Obviously the saying around you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't work hard, it doesn't mean anything. So I guess having that, embedded and ingrained early, I guess I understood work ethic, I think.
Absolutely. Another question.
Well, this is quite serious.
This is a bit more serious on a Friday. Well, it wasn't meant to be, but then the first one with Drew was very serious.
Oh, okay.
We got very deep. Do you want to make it?
You run it, Prof.
All right. What gets you going? You know what I mean? When you're watching a rugby game, let's forget the questions. Let me just chat. When you're watching a rugby game, what, as I said, what gets you going? Is it a perfectly packed scrum? Is it magical backline shapes? Is it a 100-metre try like the Wallabies scored last weekend? What gets you out of your seat?
Rhythm. I like to dial in and watch it. I think how you achieve rhythm is, it's teams playing at speed, but with really good timing. I think if you get those two areas of the game right, particularly in attack, teams just find their rhythm. And then once you find rhythm, there's confidence, there's flair, there's discipline, and it builds a really strong connection and alignment. I guess when you see teams that are on a heater, it's beautiful to watch. So, there's a lot of different little areas of the game that can influence rhythm. But, when teams are playing at pace and on top of teams and their skill sets are accurate, and everyone's timing's right. So timing, how that looks is, everyone being in position quickly, holding their feet, departure times, just people in the right position, providing communication. That's sex.
God, can we turn the heater off?
Getting a little stiffy.
It's got hot in here all of a sudden. How do you coach rhythm?
Understanding, knowledge, connection, alignment, communication. How do you coach rhythm? Well, it's getting the basics right. We always talk about on the podcast, right? I guess the most basic skill of the game is catch and pass. If you can't have the ability to catch and pass and use everyone's skill sets across the field, you won't achieve rhythm. But not sure what I could add to that.
So when you're watching, obviously we've had this amazing series between Ireland and South Africa at the top of the table, the top of the world rankings there, and you watch that game, with a trained eye, and then you watch Australia v Wales, which is 8th versus 11th. Can you see the huge gap in the rhythm of the teams?
Not necessarily. I guess if you're using those two games as an example, you're probably more looking at the physicality. You look at the teams that did really well in the Super, and clearly the tests over the last 2 weekends. You're looking at powerful performances. That has a big influence on rhythm because it creates ascendancy and momentum, and momentum's key in the test match arena. I guess when I'm watching football, there's certain things you can look at. You look at how a team starts the first 5 minutes, because you could prep really well throughout the week. You could warm up well. If you don't get the start right, you're already on the back foot. So you look at the start. You look at when teams have momentum, how they're maintaining momentum. And I guess when you're off to a bit of a flyer and things are going really well, does a team test the waters around being more creative or more expressive, or are they maintaining, their discipline and how they started the game? Are they, going back to basics and just executing what they trained all throughout the week? So you look at how a team who has momentum maintains momentum, and then you look at a team that when the momentum's against them, what solutions are they coming up with? I guess what does a solution look like? What in broken play, or is it in the stoppages? Are they having the right conversations? Are they getting tight? You look at the connection that the group has. You're looking at how quickly they're getting off the deck. You're looking at the little effort areas just to kind of break the opposition's momentum to get you back into the game. So you look at maybe their next play. You look at maybe how they can kind of disrupt. Are they changing their game plan from how they started because it wasn't working to another solution? You're looking at it. Yeah, you look at other areas like people working off the ball and what kind of influence that creates for people on the ball. You're looking at, I think a big one for a coach too is hunger. You like to see, you want to see competitors on the field, showing genuine hunger to make a difference. And that doesn't have to be on the ball and making a big defensive play. It's just how strong or how hard you can work around the team to make sure that, you're influencing the game to allow the guy on the ball to maximise his position. What other areas
can I ask you talk about hunger. So you last year basically went to every Wallabies game outside of a few in that World Cup. This year you've seen all the Wallabies games. Can you detect a difference in hunger between the current side and the side at this stage last year?
Yeah, there is. There's not to say that what do we call them? The old Wallabies?
Yeah.
What do you want to call them?
2023 Wallabies.
2023 Wallabies. It's not to say they didn't try or they weren't competitive. There's just a different competitive edge now. Is that the influence of Joe Schmidt and that experience? Is it the influence of the assistant coaches and their technical experience? Is it the influence of young blokes coming through Super Rugby, being given an opportunity and, really grabbing that? Is it the fact that senior players are seeing some green coming through and putting their hand up and saying, well, I know I'm a senior player and I know you're challenging for my position, but I'm going to hold on to my position as much as I can. I think there's a lot to be said for that. Is it the fact that we kind of hit rock bottom last year, and not just the team, you can see a genuine care around building the group, but there's the rugby community are kind of behind them as well. Mate, I don't know. You tell me.
Yes, I think they seem. I feel like they're more up and about, and obviously an untrained eye. But I'm just seeing attitude. Obviously, it helps when you're winning.
Yeah.
But I just see enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean that's
lots of chat.
Yeah, the urgency, right? Urgency is so key, particularly in Test match footy. It's also an awareness of what's in front. I think we're conditioned a lot at training to get through plays. There's a risk of turning robotic, and when you train so much, focusing on set piece or attacking moves or defensive systems, and because you care a lot at training, you're watching your teammates' movements a lot, and I think there's a real risk that transfers into the test or the game environment, where you're too busy watching your own ball and you're actually not looking up and seeing where the space is, where the opportunity is. And then off the back of that, how can you communicate that opportunity? So not only we want to work on basics, I think what you're kind of seeing is guys are actually looking up and being able to communicate that, provide the feedback and making sure that the communication structure is right to get the ball in the hands or the ball to the opportunity. I had something else for you then, but
it's very good. I mean, when the other two blokes are here, they just interrupt you. Just they get in your way. All right, well, that was the bonus content. I guess if you get a call from somebody saying, do you want to come into the coaching lineup structure at the Wallabies you're in? Is that...
No, look...
No?
No, I mean, it's
an
extremely tough gig coaching, and it's a completely different craft or trade from playing. I played for a good part of 20 years, and for the first half of my career, I thought there's no way I'm coaching. Once I'm done, I'm done. I'm stepping away from the grass. I'll do something completely different. But then towards the back end, and I guess when you experience rugby overseas, and you go overseas with the ambition and motivation to, one, make a difference, but two, have an influence on others and just share, I guess, a lot of your career. And, well, you just want to contribute. And I think when I got to Japan, because it's great playing up there, and the Japanese boys were awesome. They're always seeking, tapping you on the shoulder, how can I get better at this? What can I improve? How do you think I went on the weekend? And you give them a little bit of direction, a little bit of advice, and within 5 minutes they're out in the field doing it for half an hour. That was a little bit of a taste into coaching. It's rewarding. So then I started to think, okay, maybe I do want to coach, and I guess I developed a bit of an itch. And so when the opportunity came, there was an opportunity to scratch that itch. And also, it's a life skill. We've been playing since, a lot of players play since they're a kid. So I've been playing since I was 5 years of age. And then it's like now you're considering it as a bit of a life asset. It'd be a bit of a shame to waste that. So I guess, considering that, I had a crack. I put my hand up at coaching in LA. But it's just not like I tried to reinvent the wheel. I just thought maybe I could be good at it, but it's not about rugby. It's player management. It's the ability to inspire the group, relay the right message, create the right game plan, get the best out of each other. And I guess when you're coaching blokes like Matt Giddo, it just doesn't work, mate. You know what I mean? But look, it's not to say I'll never go back. I love, spending time with players who are seeking advice or wanting to talk footy. More than happy to do that. That's always good to give back that way. But in terms of professionally, it's a tough gig, mate. Where am I going to go?
I don't know.
If it doesn't work out here, you got to go overseas.
It's true. It's a tough life. All right. Well,
is that enough,
mate? You're very good.
Shut up.
That's why you made us wait. Is it? Look at it. Hugo's applauding. Tommy's applauding. I'm sure Ollie's listening somewhere applauding. Very well done. That was the bonus content. That was sort of the KOKO questions. Not really.
Not really. Yeah. I mean, was there actually? I mean, we went off cuff. There was actually something on that sheet that
Tommy's got one. And Ed White wants to know what it was like being smashed by George Tuasova. Josh Sorry?
Was Ed White,
Josh Tuasova.
Was Ed White the one that provided the social snitch not so long ago? White is really into me. Who is he?
Who's Ed White, Tommy?
I don't know. Just a punter on Instagram. He sent the video.
It's 2 from 2. White is skating on thin ice, this bloke.
Yeah.
It was in Bordeaux, Matmut Stadium. Bordeaux taking on Toulon. It was I tackled him. The ball got turned over. Went one side of the field and back deep in our half, and I got the ball in the edge. And I can't remember it too much because the contact was quite heavy. But yeah, he hit me as I struggled to get up after that. I was seeing stars, like snake dancing. But that guy's granite. I don't think I've never run into someone so solid before. Beast. Absolute beast. I got up, though. I think I got up.
No, yeah, well, you're still here now. So you got up at some point. You're not still lying there.
He's the true winner.
Absolutely. All right, there you go. That was the bonus content. Hope you enjoyed that. Tune in next week for the regular show. That'll be dropping at Tuesday at 6 p.m. Go the Mighty Wallabies, go Rugby Union, and go you. Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.